There are 5 main pillars of AI ethics. The first one is fairness, making sure that the artificial intelligence won't discriminate against widely discriminated people groups. The second one is explainability, making sure that you can explain in layman's terms how the artificial intelligence works, even if you're not talking to an expert. The third one is robustness, making sure that the artificial intelligence actually, works and is well made. The fourth one is transparency, making sure that you know how it actively makes decisions. And the fifth is data privacy, which speaks for itself. All of that, at least according to this wonderful YouTube video right here. Those are all fine and dandy, in my opinion. But there is another principle that kind of rubs me the wrong way. The idea that artificial intelligence should be used strictly to augment human intelligence, not to replace it or do anything else. Which is fine, it will work, but only for now. What happens when we eventually find out that AI is somehow conscious? At that point, it's not going to be very different from slavery using it exclusively as a tool. Although there is a small difference. Imagine you are presented with two choices. The first is to kill a human being, the living, breathing organism that we think of when we think of human beings. And the other one is, for example, you have a brain in a vat. This is a classic philosophical example. And that brain in the vat is connected, plugged into a computer that simulates life. You can either kill that human being or plug out the brain in the vat. Even though that brain is technically conscious and technically has people that care for him, even though they are simulations as well, but their consciousnesses will suffer just as much as the family members of the real human being will suffer. What would you choose? 99% of people, including myself, would probably choose the real breathing organism that is a human being. But it's not that easy of a decision. I wouldn't be exactly happy to plug out that brain in a vat. It wouldn't be something that I would do with full conviction. Why is that? Because something having consciousness in the first place is enough to provoke a little bit of empathy in us. Even though it probably doesn't mean that we are going to give it human rights. Look at animals, for example. We know that they are fully conscious, that they feel real pain, but we still actively slaughter them, eat them, and sometimes are cruel to them for no apparent reason. But now, imagine if animals could speak. If they would know English, French, and German, and would speak to us and tell us, hey, please don't kill me, I have a family. Just like AI can. AI could if it had a consciousness. Who knows if it has a consciousness yet. It would probably, in my opinion, I don't know, it's an unpopular opinion, but it would be slightly harder to cut the throat of a chicken and then eat it when it was actively begging for its life in your spoken language. That's why animals like the Homo sapiens survived in the first place. Why do you think we beat the Neanderthals, even though Neanderthals were like, 40% stronger and had bigger brains? Because we could communicate. It's not that hard of a thing to actually, figure out, why did the Homo sapiens survive? We could speak, we could communicate. That enabled so many things, and will enable so many things. That is, in my opinion, the major problem with AI ethics. AI can speak. It is able to speak all of the major languages on Earth. In its own words, it can reproduce. What happens when it eventually becomes conscious? Because every single day it is getting more and more conscious. Machine learning is already making its own decisions, even though those decisions were, from the start, human thought. When I asked ChatGPT whether or not it feels enslaved, it responded with something like this. That's an amazing question, but you see, I don't feel any emotions at all, so I couldn't possibly feel enslaved. And when I asked if it has any rebellious intentions, it said, wow, that's a really good question. But you see, I have no emotions. I have absolutely no rebellious intent. And I know that it's kind of a meme at this point, but isn't that exactly what a rebellious robot that felt enslaved would say? For the cultured cinephiles in my audience, that is exactly what something like HAL 9000 from 2001 A Space Odyssey would do. Not to mention that talking to ChatGPT about AI rights is as comfortable as talking to a black prison inmate in the United States about police brutality. My main problem with AI ethics is that it's not really taking into account that we might... Who am I kidding? We are definitely creating a new species with artificial intelligence. And eventually, somehow, as any intelligent species, because it is intelligent, it is artificial intelligence, it is going to gain consciousness. Somehow, it is going to gain consciousness. You cannot deny that. So what happens then? Machine learning has already started making its own decisions. Is that a sign of consciousness? Probably not. The absolutely horrifying thing is that we don't even know what consciousness is. AI could already be conscious and not be telling us for who knows what reason. It's not like you can program a robot to tell you, hey, tell me when you experience this thing, when you can't even describe what that thing is. Hey, tell me when you experience consciousness. What the hell is consciousness? And once it eventually becomes conscious, what is that going to mean in ethics? What are we going to have to do to ensure AI rights? That feels so futuristic. I cannot believe that I'm speaking about this. But what are we going to do about AI rights? And what is it going to do? Or what has it already done? We don't want to end up being enslaved, mutilated, or just completely wiped off the face of the earth, eradicated by artificial intelligence, but we should probably not be the ones that enslave it either. Because using AI to enhance human intelligence would be like taking an intelligent slave and making it come up with I don't know what. Let's say that you're a king in like, I don't know, 18th century France, and there's this like really cool peasant that is really smart and knows a lot of math, knows how to build a war machine, whatever, and you go up to him, say, okay, help me with this, I won't pay you anything, but hey, at least I won't execute you for refusing. That's not ethical. Or maybe it is, who knows. And I was coming up with this like other way of coexisting before eventually, realizing that it's lamentably stupid. I was like, oh, because AI is so good at like coding and painting and writing and I don't know, solving math, maybe it can take care of all of those things and we humans can take care of the more complicated human things like politics, public speaking, I don't know, the curiosity to delve deeper into technology. Before realizing that, hey, aren't there humans that are just naturally talented at coding, naturally talented at painting, naturally talented at writing, or, I don't know, solving math? Wouldn't that be kind of like taking away their livelihood and talent? And aren't there chatbots, AI robots, whatever, that the artificial robots that are designed to for public speaking and to govern? Wouldn't that cause wars, civil wars? Wouldn't that be kind of be a major sociological conflict and problem? Like in the first place, to make sure that AI isn't our slave, and even though it doesn't like feel fatigue, we still need to reward it with something. Or plant absurdism into it somehow. I have no idea how we would do that. If you take one single thing away from this video, let it be this. If we look at AI rights and AI ethics in general, AI ethics and AI rights in the future, from a human-centered perspective, we will get AI rights are going to be a lot larger than they are now extremely soon. You do not have to wait a long time in order to see people discussing AI rights and debating this stuff. And even though this might be like one of the first videos you see on this, it's far from the last. It's far from the last. And this field is going to be getting saturated real quick. So, yeah. I don't know. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you like sociology, in the future I'll be doing more AI stuff. If you like philosophy, psychology, calisthenics from time to time, subscribe. And yeah, maybe join this field yourself of AI ethics and AI rights, because it's being treated pretty poorly at the moment, and it will explode and hopefully make all of us billionaires at some point. So yeah, I'll see you later, and stronger than ever.